Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and a technical rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris Boingle Ryder Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner in this endeavor.
Limping to the end of the weekend, the Vacuuminator is here. Hi,
Oh
I like
boy.
wrestling.
Yeah. Especially when there's like a lot of it to do in a short amount of time, and one of your major forms of pieces of content is just talking about it.
And, you try to do actual fucking proper reaction streams to it, and everything goes wrong. Just everything.
Yeah,
Not
very much
one
so.
thing, everything. You can't even watch it live because the other guy's computer keeps breaking.
Hey, my computer. Oh, your computer was breaking. That's what you're. Uh, and now my secondary monitor's fucking fried.
Yeah, this is the most cursed Memorial Day weekend ever. Fuck America.
I mean, Cody wants to fuck America in a different way, but
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
yo, we got a person commenting. What's up, Zilla Punk? How you doing? We're
Hello,
talking about
greetings.
professional wrestling.
Wrestling. Wrestling.
Wrestling.
We're
We're talking
all
about
so
these
happy.
boys.
Yeah. It's them. It's the ones.
It's the boys. It's the sudden realization that a lot of a thing that you like is very homoerotic in nature.
I got some of those too. Look at all those.
Uh,
Ooh. All
yeah.
right. So, do we want to just hop in? Is there any fucking pretext to this? We're talking about Double or Nothing, people. Double or Nothing 2021, Jacksonville, Florida, Daly's Place. I tried to get tickets, I couldn't, but I was actually pretty happy because I got to see I got to hear the crowd properly filtered. And oh God, what a crowd.
No, like we just that's the thing we need to mention first is like this is the first. Technically, what did WrestleMania have full
Eh,
capacity?
WrestleMania had like if I want to say it was half capacity and it was all spread out.
So this is the first full capacity responsible wrestling show. Let's just put it this way: there were a lot of mud shows that were like, "Yeah, fuck the pandemic. We're still gonna put on some fucking wrestling." But no, this is the first proper. Everything is in place. Everybody's trying their hardest and their damnedest to make sure everybody's safe. Wrestling show.
hmm
I just realized my.
And the majority of them weren't, but there were a good few people still wearing masks, I noticed in the crowd.
Yeah, and I want to believe the best in people and that the people who weren't wearing masks had been vaccinated. So,
hmm
but no, first major capacity and goddamn. The only bad part about it is the hard cam was focused in such a way that it was hard to notice all the people at all the time. You know.
It was weird. The hard cam was kind of like at one of the corners of the ring, so you could kind of get like the entrance and two sides of the crowd because they had a bunch of seats up on the stage now. They had some bleachers, some nice bleachers. But every once in a while, the camera would like pull back and pan around, and it would be like, "Oh yes, people are here. That's why it's so loud."
Yep. Uh. Yeah, the crowd and also the crowd was good the whole evening. Like they were just like,
Oh yeah,
we just want to
you
have
could tell.
wrestling.
You could tell this was a lot of hardcore fans who were just like, "Oh, thank fucking God, it's a full show."
Yep. And there were some fans who had signs like, "Oh, we came from North Carolina. We came from this place." I was like, "Oh, it's cool, sweet."
Yeah.
There's a part because they're starting the tour soon. There's a part of me that's gonna miss Daly's place.
A little bit. But they're going to circle back around to it every once in a while
Yeah,
from now on.
Daly's place is now. I'm being hailed.
You fucker! Why is this our life? Chris died. So I have full ownership now. I'm the complete owner of Modular Media, and that's just the way it's gonna go. I'm gonna rule this thing, and we're gonna start talking about this show. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get into the buy-in, where we had Serena Deeb defending her NWA Women's World Championship against Riho. I thought this match was pretty fun. It was a pretty nice little opener. Very much built around the fact that it was a heel turn for Serena Deeb. Early on in the match, after a couple spots, Riho tries to shake Serena's hand, show respect to the champion, and then there's a big old like wait from her, and she then slaps Riho, and that kind of leads into her working much more severe offense until eventually, in a pretty brutal looking submission, Riho taps out and Serena retains. So very nice little match starting things off, and had a nice kind of like sunset look to it, with the fact that it was still kind of towards the end of the day in Daly's place. The sun hadn't quite set yet. And very bold, I think, of the NWA to allow their one of their champions to turn heel on another company's pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, it's the buy-in. You can watch it for free on YouTube, but still, it's good advertising for their paywall locked bullshit. I've really soured on NWA in the last little while, but Boingo's back now, so we don't have to talk about the stupid buy-in anymore because I covered the whole thing myself. I'm that great.
All right. It was a good match.
Yeah. Oh, and we also got a video package showing footage from FanFest, which is what happened on Saturday, and that looked fun. I wish I was there, but it was cool to watch the toy reveals from home too.
Man, so many good, like, just like, oh, here's all the figures you've been asking for, but we haven't been able to because we were still working on, like, like, the before AEW really got started information.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure out distribution. We're trying to prove that this line is viable to a lot of retailers. A lot of stuff was holding up AEW, and now it seems like Jazzwares has a really good plan for them, where there's going to be the main figure line, which will be rotating waves month by month starting in October with Unmatched and Unrivaled. And we saw, like, I think the first 4 waves of Unmatched and the next 4 of Unrivaled. There, we also got the reveal that they're going to be doing a subline of Wrestling Buddies, which, those of you who don't know, it's a style of wrestling toy that has been used by pretty much every company in the game every once in a while, and it's always the same designer. The same designer since the 80s has always been tapped by these various companies to design Wrestling Buddies. And I don't know if they said, but I'm pretty sure, but just by the look of them, that they got the same designer in to do these buddies. And we saw the first wave of that. And then we also saw that they're going to be doing retro throwback LJN style figures, one like every other wave, I think it was, going forward, because we've only seen 2 so far, and they were like, one was in a Unrivaled wave and one was in an Unmatched wave.
No, they're both in the same. They're both in the same line, because that's I read a thing that, like, Unrivaled, these guys, right? The line we've had right so far.
Yeah.
Unmatched is going to be a little bit more experimental, where every once in a while they'll do an LJN toy, they'll do something, they'll try things out in different ways. Where Unrivaled is just figure.
Makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, we saw the next ringside exclusive is going to be a new authentic scale ring, this time modeled after the Double or Nothing look. Which basically means it's the same mold, but they have different logos printed on it. And it's going to have a different exclusive figure. Aubrey Edwards is going to be debuting in the toy line as a exclusive pack-in with this ring, which means if you want Aubrey, you got to pay $100, which kind of rubs me the wrong way, but, like, I don't have an authentic scale ring, so I guess fine. But also, this is the second time you've done an authentic scale ring, and it still doesn't have the turnbuckle cam on it.
Turnbuckle cam's not like a part of the ring, though.
It's on the
Technically.
fucking post, dude.
But it's not part of the ring by technicality.
But wouldn't that be a great little like feature? Just like a little articulated camera right there on one of the ends.
You mean you can 3D print one? You can go to Shapeways.
So what are your favorite reveals from the weekend of tour, the Saturday tour reveals?
I like Nyla. Nyla looks good. I thought her figure looked really dope.
I thought
I
her head was a little big.
Her head's a little big in real life, to be honest. My head's big in real life, dude.
Okay.
A lot of people's heads are big in real life. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, oh, heads.
I just meant like proportions compared to the actual person. It looked off to me.
I think maybe it's because of the hair. They had a lot of the figure had a lot of bouncy hair,
Yeah, that's gonna cut off the articulation on that figure a lot too.
but it's realistic to the person. So,
Mhm.
I also like the tree painted Darby. I just like that look on Darby.
Mm-hmm. That's the I believe that's the look he had when he won the TNT title. So hopefully that'll be coming with his version of the TNT title.
I do like how we're getting a whole Dark Order wave.
Yeah, that was like legitimately for like I how long have I been yelling about they need to do that for like a year and a half? Kind of teared up when I saw that.
We're also getting a
Like
full best friends wave.
yeah, because we're getting Chris and Chuck and um
Trent?
Trent. Yeah, I forgot his fucking name. I'm sorry. Uh, we're getting them in a wave, and we're also getting, I assume, just a straight up repack of orange
I'd
because I don't know
imagine.
what other look you could do for orange.
I mean, he does have new pants right now.
New pants, maybe
A different shirt.
update the jacket so he's shirtless.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I can't really do shirtless orange.
Yeah, because you said it's like sewn into the jacket.
Yeah, the Velcro's on the inner part of the t-shirt kind of thing.
Um, I'm also really excited going along with the Dark Order wave. Ty Conte is getting her own figure, so
Oh
you
yeah,
can do TJ.
yeah. The only person that doesn't have a Dark Order that I want to have, did Colt Cabana get confirmed?
Nope.
No Colt Cabana.
The people in the Dark Order who do not have figures confirmed yet are Colt Cabana, 5'10", and Alex
Alex.
Reynolds.
Give my 9-inch nail boy a fucking figure. He just reminds me of Trent Reznor.
Yeah, and then also, oh god, I had it and then it was gone. Uh, oh, Britt's finally getting a figure. First wave of Unmatched. That's very exciting. She's been campaigning on that for that on Twitter for a while.
Part of me hopes
Uh,
she heals it up and says, "I still haven't had an unrivaled figure. You haven't unmatched." No, I want an unrivaled figure.
Here's a goddamn variant. Which that figure is gonna have a variant. There's like a there's one of her in her face gear and one of her in her heel gear. I wonder which one they're gonna make the variant.
Mm.
Hmm. Uh I can't shake the feeling that there was someone else I wanted to mention, but it's just not coming to. Oh yeah, freaking Dax and Cash are getting figures.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
excited
think
for
all
that.
the Pinnacle have figure. No, Sean doesn't have a figure yet.
No, we need Sean because we're also getting Wardlow, which is very exciting. I'm very excited to get Wardlow.
Hopefully, now that
Um,
with the Pinnacle kind of picking up on Sean being the fucking psychopath, they'll start. They'll build up enough steam to get him a figure.
mhm. Part of me wants them to do like a two-wave push for him, like do an unrivaled the gear he had when he took on Cody pre-Dynamite, and then the other one is Pinnacle gear.
Yeah, Chairman and Pinnacle Sean.
Mhm. Uh, but that's enough action figure talk. Should we get into the main card? I'm totally not the host.
No, you're not. But let's talk about some action figures with Brian Cage going up against Hangman Page.
Yeah, because he fucking comes out dressed like the goddamn Terminator.
He comes out dressed up like a goddamn Master of the Universe toy.
He does. That should be one of his monikers. Live the Master of the Universe, Brian Cage.
Go right there with Swolverine.
Mm-hmm. This match was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was really good. It played really well into Hangman being a larger size underdog, because normally when we associate underdog with wrestling, it's always like Leo Rush, Rey Mysterio, Darby Allin, Marco Stunt. It's the tiny boys. It's like, oh, you're tiny. Oh, how you gonna win? But this
But
is very.
Page is like, he's a normal sized guy for a wrestler, but you put him next to Cage, and Cage is fucking huge.
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's
Spider-Man fighting the Rhino.
He's the everyman. He's the guy anybody can relate to. But he's a pretty strong dude. But you put him up against a fucking brick wall, he's gonna bounce off of it. But bounce off of it, he didn't, because Hangman did get the win on this after basically Ricky Starks and Hook fuck up the match just completely, and getting Brian Cage off his game, and basically costing Brian Cage the match.
Yeah, and Brian Cage totally had this attitude too of like, whoa, what the fuck are you guys doing here? I said I was doing this on my own. And there's like a moment full on where Ricky tries to toss him the title. He tosses it back out, and then Ricky gets in the ring and starts arguing with him, which leads to Cage setting up for a buckshot lariat, which is how he wins.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not necessarily like, this is the beginnings of a face turn. Because, goddamn, look at him. He's an action figure. Like, I hate to... It's a similar thing of, like, Luchasaurus.
Other than, like, Billy Gunn, he's the only big guy that doesn't have a figure yet.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, he is a big fucking dude, and he's just... He does the big strongman things. He looks like Wolverine. Kids will love Brian Cage as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it works in that way. And, like, this is the seeds being planted of him eventually getting to that point, essentially.
Definitely.
But it's basically just Hangman getting back onto his storyline of basically, I'm winning all the time. Are you going to challenge for the belt?
Why would I do that?
I'm winning all the time. You know, that kind of, which is good. We have those moments where you are doing everything right to accomplish a goal. You just don't want to actually accomplish the goal.
Yeah, he's edging right now. That's Hangman's storyline, is he's edging.
All right, we're leaving back out of the podcast for now. Go to horny jail.
Oh, fine. I'll go. I'll meet you at the women's match then.
You know what? Because you say it like that? Punishment. You got to look at the weird-looking Young Bucks.
No, I love their gear in this match because fucking AEW Tag Team Championship match, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks come out wearing the most ridiculous shit. They've got like these jackets with like a goopy paint aesthetic to them, and what I can only assume is a Bible quote on one side, and then their pants are like all these different goofy colors and patterns, and then they're labeled. Where the pockets are, it says pockets. There's a random spot where it says pants. Next to the tassels, it says tassels. It's the most hilarious, meta, goofy bullshit I've ever seen, and I love it.
It is very much, like, the best way I can describe it is this, like, Y2K streetwear.
Yeah.
It's like Y2K, there's a little bit of, like, tech wear. Like, this is fashion. Like, I fucking fuck with those pants. Hold on. I'm getting the socks I showed you the other day.
Here we go. This is something, folks. This is something. Oh my god. Here he comes.
Oh Lord, he coming. Oh Lord. I say unto the Lord, don't let Samuel Jackson fuck me up. Okay, so first bit with hold on, fuck it. There we go.
Oh, they're no longer minted package.
Okay, so this is all the same sock.
How many pairs is that?
It's two. It's a pair. It's two socks.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I didn't know if that was
yeah.
like a big pack or something.
It has the ska.
The checkerboard fucking pattern that was at the tip end of the pants the Young Bucks were wearing.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
to contrast that, Mox and Kingston come out through the crowd, not just through the door and then down the side, through the whole crowd, and Mox is so fucking excited that he smashes a beer over his face like the Sandman and then lobs a chair into the crowd.
Goddamn.
And Eddie's just running around going like, oh, whoa, people like me. I'm dressed like a fucking Jersey mad scientist. Whoa.
Oh man, did you see the way the fucking Spanish commentary team was just like going, what the fuck is John Moxley behind us?
Yeah.
That was great. No. Also, Nick Jackson had a look.
Yeah. So I really disagreed with Wrestle Talk a lot when it came to this pay-per-view, but one of their spot-on comments in their review was that during this match, Nick Jackson looked like a bad WWE 2K20 render of himself.
Yeah. He looked like a mix of that, like late WCW Macho Man.
Kind of James Mitchell was the vibe I was getting. Because he's like he's dyed his hair blonde.
But it's it's not blonde though. It's like lightly bleached. Just
it's like
enough.
A mist umber. Does anybody know that fucking term? Am I the only person who knows cosmetology terms?
Like his hair's normally like a dark brown to black, and it went from that to like the color of my beard.
Yeah, like a normal dude's beard when it gets long, because all black hair beards start to get lighter as they get longer. But like that was his whole head, and then his beard wasn't dyed to match it, so it just stood out like a sore thumb.
It was thicker, so it was weird and black and like it's a look. It is a choice. It is just a fuck, man.
But, good for Nick. For once in his life, he's the more eye-grabbing brother.
Also, his new hair color hides his hairline.
Yeah.
So there's that. But no, this match is fucking good.
It's great, man. It's honestly, if it wasn't for a later match, I would say it's some of the best tag team action I've seen in a while.
Oh, it is. That, like, just the long-term chemistry between the Bucks as bros and Moxley and Kingston just as like old school friends, and the way they're able to interact and work with each other is just great.
Like just these two different styles crashing into each other like freight trains.
One can even say three different styles because the Bucks have a style and Mox and Kingston both have different styles.
Yeah, because Mox is like controlled deathmatch, where he's had a lot of it trained out of him by WWE. Kingston is pure, I just got out of CZW, what's up, deathmatch.
I just got out of CZW and I worked with Chikara for a bit, so I know how to at least be friendly.
Mm-hmm. But no, the match was great. Fucking just brawling on the outside, beating the shit out of each other for a full 3 minutes before the bell gets rang. And then all the work together, giving Eddie a freaking hot tag. God,
they both got hot tags. It was just hot tags all around.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
And Eddie, the way they played up Mox's bleeding too, that was great.
Yeah, but I think that wasn't purposeful bleeding. That wasn't bleeding. That was just Oh, you're bleeding now. Let's just play into it and use it some to make the match feel a little more real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, goddamn. But like, just everybody was fucking over. The Bucks were fucking dicks.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest assholes. It was great.
But then, obviously, the Young Bucks went and retained after a whole bunch of interference. Because first, Carl Anderson comes out and he's just yelling at them. Luke Gallows tries to sneak in the back, but then whoever's not legal, I forget who it was, but the guy on the other team who wasn't legal just beats the shit out of Luke Gallows, which was great. And then while they're all going like, "Holy shit, Luke Gallows is getting fucking killed out there," or Frankie Kazarian comes out of fucking nowhere and starts attacking Carl Anderson, and in all the confusion, somehow the Young Bucks retain, and they all to steal a line JR loves to use all the time. They run like scalded dogs.
Yeah, but like they did a super kick party on Moxley. He got up on one, and then they basically just kneed his head in 5 times in a goddamn row to win.
So
And using that move is also interesting because it's the BTE trigger, which is a mocking version of the golden trigger from the Golden Lovers. So using it to continuously mock people with like, oh hey, you thought we were good boys? Nah, Kenny's a dick. We're dicks. Fuck you.
yeah.
Alrighty, Casino Battle Royale. The rules of these battle royales are simple. It is like a Royal Rumble, but it is staggered into groups of 5, with longer time periods in between these groups of 5.
It's 2 minutes of
3.
wrestling. It's okay. It's 3 minutes of wrestling, and then like 5 guys come out one after another, and then there's another 5 minutes until the next 5 guys or whatever. So the first group is Christian Cage starts off at number 1, which was a bit of a shock, but kind of awesome. Then Powerhouse Hobbs came out. Then Matt Sydal. And at that point, I was going, oh shit, is this whole group just Christian Cage and his Rogues Gallery? Let's go. But then Dustin Rhodes came out, which was nice. He's carrying a big old cowbell. And last but not least,
because Cody isn't going to be Cody's not going to be the only one repping his dad tonight.
Yeah. And last but not least, Max Caster comes out and just finally fucking proves himself to everyone. Like, no. You want to see me control a crowd? Here's me controlling a crowd. And it was wonderful.
Goddamn. And his insults were just fucking phenomenal as well this time. It's just like, Christian, nobody cares about you because you've lost your edge.
Mm-hmm. And then the shot of Christian just going like, what?
Like, I don't get the joke. Your friend's edge. Oh,
that kid's a dick. Why is he here?
I thought I thought I was getting away from all those hurtful comments. Man, he's just like the WWE executive room.
But no, they were the clubs, and then after them we had the Diamonds, which was Big Money Matt Hardy, with Isaiah Cassidy, and they waited patiently because they knew the next person coming out was Preston Vance, and they tried to jump him, but he just powered past them, which was awesome. And last but not least was Nick Camarado of The Factory and Serpentico being dragged to the ring by his mask by frickin' Dr. Lufer, which was just the funniest thing.
Honestly, that whole thing just immediately gets their team dynamic down. It's just like, oh, this is a guy being held hostage from a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah, that was good. I liked seeing Vance get a little bit of face action. But other than that, not much else to say with this group because it's all just kind of buying time and setting up for the next group, which was the Hearts, which started off with Colt Cabana coming into a huge face pop,
Yep.
which was pretty cool to see. Then both the Varsity Blondes, which was what I flipped out over because those guys have just been getting more and more awesome with each week. And then Bowens came out well after Caster had been eliminated, so it was kind of just like, okay, you're here as fodder.
Yeah.
Um, but then we had possibly one of the best gears of the night because Penta El Zero Miedo came in full Joker cosplay. And I had to take a second look, but I kind of agree with Brian Zane. Best Joker themed gear ever.
Yeah. The biggest problem I have with Joker gear is I don't like how they try to integrate the Joker face paint.
Really?
Because here's the thing: when it's on the Joker, it's on the Joker. When it's on another person, it's just like, oh, you're trying to look like the Joker. Any other superhero cosplay ring gears tend to look a little bit like, oh, it's their normal gear stylized after, like Seth Rollins' Ice Walker gear, or his it wasn't
Thanos?
it was Thanos is one of them.
Johnny Gargano's
Johnny
gears?
Gargano's a perfect example. Even Brian Cage, a lot of his gear is stylized after Wolverine, but like it feels like him. When you do the Joker face paint, it doesn't feel like you. It feels like you're trying to look like the Joker, which I'm not here to see the Joker. I'm here to see you.
See, I could see that on other people, but with Penta El Zero Miedo, for me, it was fine because it's like he already does face paint. He's just modifying it.
I think it's also the red. The red just kind of like, I don't like
it's
that.
It's too much of a pop for you. Too much of a visual pop. That's fair. But yeah, that group was pretty good. And then what's that? Was this next group finally? Yeah. So final group was the Spades, which was Jungle Boy, Mark Quinn, Aaron Solo, Evil Uno, and Big Shoddy Lee Johnson, who I had completely forgotten was in the match. And as soon as he entered, I was like, oh shit, they've already eliminated some of the people I thought might win it. They could be building a star here. It might be Lee Johnson.
Oh, you were
did I know.
halfway right.
I was halfway right.
But eventually, Private Party do eliminate Brian Pillman Jr., who the fans just want to strap a rocket to, which I love.
Yeah.
And AEW is very receptive, but it's very much like, hey, we're not strapping a rocket to you, but we are putting a really good engine. You're gonna get there. Just we need to work at it. We need to build it up. We can't just like immediately put you in TNT title.
Let's have you actually be on a tag team for a little bit, unlike your dad where it was flash in the pan.
Yeah. And Griff Garrison, eventually you'll become Stone Cold. You'll have to shave your hair, but like you get to be a new Stone Cold. Come on.
Oh god, does that make Julia Hart Deborah?
No, because neither of them are dating her.
Okay. So finally the Joker was revealed and we were all wrong. Nobody fucking called it, but it was still awesome. I still got out of my chair and screamed, "Let's go," because Leo Rush is all elite.
Hell yeah. I don't know if didn't Meltzer say he's New Japan, but he's coming over and doing stuff with AEW?
Yeah, he's basically doing a Young Lion on excursion kind of a thing.
But it's less like that, and it's just more of like, hey, we're not using them right now. Use them.
Mm-hmm.
Leo Rush got in some big high spots, but he was eliminated because it was just kind of go like, hey, we're gonna do some things with Leo Rush. Get excited. Here's some things you can do. All right, bye, Leo.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out, kid.
Don't fuck. He's been in wrestling for 7 years.
I know. He's now like, what is he now? Is he the 25-year-old piece of gold?
Probably. He's been at it for a while, but eventually a lot of people get in and out, and we have it ends up with Hardy, Christian, and Jungle Boy, and Matt Hardy is basically talking to Christian, going like, "Hey man, we should team up. Remember, I'm Hardy Boy, TLC. He did all the Christian Hardy. It's a thing." And Christian was like,
Yeah, so
"Bye." And he eliminated Matt Hardy.
Out of here, dude. And
Bro.
there was also, I think a little bit before that, there was also an awesome spot where Jungle Boy almost got eliminated, but then he swung around the ring post like it was a fucking tree trunk.
Yeah, it was good. But eventually we have a cool little short-lived match with Christian and Jungle Boy, which just makes me go like, "Ooh, that's a feud I'd like to see."
Mm-hmm. Because Christian gets eliminated and Jungle Boy wins, and you think like, "Oh shit, are we doing Christian Cage heel turn here?" Because he gets back in the ring and they start eyeballing each other, and he goes, "You won. Get the belt. I want to fight you for the belt."
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Like, just basically saying, like, "I believe in you, and this is good. It's good."
Mm-hmm.
the
Pretty
rest
solid
of
match all around.
Luchasaurus and Marco both came to the ring and helped celebrate. It was good.
Yeah, and hey, we finally got to hear what a full crowd singing fucking Tarzan
It was so
voice
good,
sounds like.
especially when it was at the end and Christian and Jungle Boy were just going one-on-one, and everybody was going, "Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey." Just like everybody was saying, it's like unprompted. Everybody was just like, "This is what we're gonna do to cheer on Jungle Boy."
Yeah.
So
And
good.
I love how from the very beginning there was no fucking back and forth. It was just immediately everybody's like, "No, Jungle Boy. Jungle fucking Boy. Build the future star."
Jungle Boy. Next we have the match.
You're gonna make me do this?
No, I'll announce it. So let's just go through what we go through. We start with a basically a saying of like, "Hey, it's Memorial Day," all that kind of stuff. We honor some veterans. Here's some veterans. Here's the member of our roster who is a veteran.
Has anybody heard of Sean Dean?
Yeah.
Anybody? Do you know he's the captain?
Yeah,
You watched Dark?
some people did. They cheered for him. It's mostly probably because of, hey, cheer for the veteran, than cheer for the wrestler you like.
There was a pupper out there.
There was a
They were
pupper
talking about we want to give money to this pupper foundation.
to
that
help
was
help veterans and all that kind of stuff. And then we have a promo hype package for America.
Not so much America as like fucking soldiers. Just
Yeah.
like, hey, soldiers, they die, and that's sad. But because of them, we have borders, and aren't borders great? Hooray, America!
And then after that's done, Anthony Ogogo comes out, and it is full. He's just like full coming out, doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's just in the ring, and then Cody Rhodes' theme hits. And Cody Rhodes walks out.
And he's fucking announced as the grandson of a plumber, the son of the common man, the father to be, the American dream, Cody Rhodes, while wearing a coat that looks like John Walker ejaculated all over him.
See, and that's the thing. Everybody's going like, "Oh, it looks like Highlander. It looks like Highlander." It's like, yeah, it does.
Homelander.
Homelander. What fucking ever. It's Garth Ennis' property where he just goes, "Superheroes suck." I don't fucking care. I don't like the boys.
From what I've heard, it's another case of we adapted this ultra gritty, ultra grim, shit-faced, angry comic book into a much more palatable for mainstream audiences kind of show.
Yeah, but like that. That's all. It's all just Garth Ennis going like superheroes are dumb. All the things you like are dumb. But anyway, he comes out. I understand why people are saying it looks like Homelander. It looks more of like classic Uncle Sam and George Washington. And I think the comparison.
I imagine Cody reading those tweets and being like, "Who the fuck is Homelander?"
Yeah. Or like he does watch The Boys and he didn't make the connection. I was like, oh god damn it, why did I do that? Unless Mr. Ollie Davis from Wrestle Talk is right and it is all just a work. But no, I think our comparison to John Walker is a lot more apt because it's a dude really trying his best but falling on his face every chance he gets.
Because let's cut to the chase. Because who fucking cares? Anthony loses,
Right.
and he doesn't even lose to Cody's finisher, and Cody trounces him in boxing. Cody punches the shit out of Anthony, and the punch that made fucking Austin Gunn cough up blood on Dynamite, he just kind of shrugs off. Cody looks like goddamn Super Cena in this match, and people on Twitter were comparing him to Triple H. And, you know, as much as I like the guy, I'm hard-pressed to disagree.
Yeah, it all depends on what they do next.
I mean, he was really over with that crowd, too, is the thing. It was mostly online fans who seemed angry.
Know what I wouldn't mind? Because people were making the comparisons. Have Cody's gimmick basically be, no, I know wrestling. I'm right about wrestling. Like a Triple H kind of character. I'm right about wrestling. You don't know anything about wrestling. And his students are basically his NXT.
Oh.
Basically,
I could see that.
Good wrestlers that are like really devoted to him and like oh man, he just knows so much about professional wrestling. I really look up to him. And will forgive a lot of his shitty actions in his past just because, oh no, he's good to me. He's teaching me a lot. He's really helping me get over and do all that kind of stuff.
And then they go meet fucking Vince or whoever. Who would be the Vince in this context? Would it be Tony or would it be like Kenny? I feel like it would be Kenny.
It'd be Kenny.
He's like Cody does a fucking thing in 2 weeks on Dynamite where he's like, all right, here's our prized student from the Nightmare Factory, Big Shotty Lee Johnson. I've trained him forever, and I think he's ready. And as an EVP, I've decided that if he can beat me, his fucking senpai, in a match, he will get a shot at the AEW World Title. Because I can't get it anymore, but I want it to come home to the Nightmare Factory. And he just fucking lays down for Lee Johnson, and then the next week, Kenny destroys him and cuts a promo on Cody.
I don't know. I don't think that's the way they're going, but I could see it, especially because, for lack of a better way to describe it, Cody is still reflective of the experiences he had at WWE. Not necessarily it's about WWE, but it's reflective of his own past.
Yeah.
So, it could work. Ogogo should have won. It would have made him a really big dude.
Like you were saying during the match, it felt like they were building him up to be the next Goldberg, and you don't fucking kill Goldberg in his first real match.
Yep. But speaking of big beefy boys, we have the TNT Championship match. Miro versus Lance Archer.
And this is where we started having computer problems, so we only saw like 10% of this match.
No, we saw most of it.
I don't remember seeing the thing people were talking about, which is fucking Miro yeeting the bag.
No, I remember that.
Oh, you did? Maybe I was just too...
You were looking away. You didn't see it.
I was? What the fuck was I looking at?
You were looking down at your phone.
I drank 2 glasses of whiskey during this pay-per-view, everyone. I wouldn't advise it.
No, but basically, Miro and Lance Archer have a big beefy boy beef off. Eventually, Jake the Snake comes in and goes like, "Hey, I got a snake," and Miro goes like, "No, you don't." Throw. And eventually, Miro does beat Lance Archer to win and retain the TNT title. I don't think Lance Archer looks as bad as he could have looked, considering.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't get pinned. He basically got knocked the fuck out. He got submissioned until he fell asleep.
Yeah, because he got hit with a really hard game over, didn't he?
No, no, no. It wasn't. It was a game over. But it was also like, he pulled it back into like a choking game over. That new variation he has. Yeah, but yeah, no, it was good. It was good, Hoshi. It was good, beefy boy, and Miro can now go do some dope shit with that title belt.
Yeah.
Speaking of dope shit with a title belt,
Hey, we had Dr. Britt Baker DMD with Rebel Not Reba versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Championship.
championship.
This match was okay.
It was solid.
It was very like I don't know what I was expecting, but honestly, this match felt like a prolonged excuse just to get the belt on Britt.
Yeah, but it was solid. It was good. They both fought hard, and eventually, Britt Baker did get the lockjaw on Shida, really putting that move over and win
with a big fancy bedazzled glove too. That was funny.
Yeah,
Her gear was great too because it's apparently a homage to Scott Hall. I didn't realize that at the time.
yeah. It was just good, solid. And
We did it, everybody. Britt's champion now. The women's division is here.
yeah, let's just see who the next feud is. Know who'd be good?
Who?
Frickin' Chris Statlander or Tay Conte.
See, I want Chris to be the next champion, so I would not throw her to Britt first.
Okay. Because we're
But
not
Tay,
fully.
I could see Layla Hirsch would be great.
Oh yeah. And there's always the Thunder Rosa thing, but like it. I don't want to see Thunder Brit. I don't want to see the reignition of Thunder and Brit so soon.
No, because like, here's the thing. Here's what I think they're doing. Both AEW and NWA, because Serena turned heel during the buy-in. I think Serena's gonna have a bit of a heel run, and then Britt is gonna, or not Britt, Thunder is gonna take the belt from her because Thunder's kind of transitioned into a babyface over the course of her time in AEW, and then we'll have a title versus title match, or some kind of just plain champion versus champion with Thunder and Britt as like a cap to their trilogy.
The only shame is we can't have Anna Jay yet, because that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Red Velvet. Red Velvet should be the main.
Oh hell yeah, Red Velvet. Let's go.
The feud. She'd lose. I like that's the way I would do it. I was build it up and then. But like
Red Velvet would be a great first conquest for Britt.
Yeah, and it also puts Red Velvet in the idea of like she's really that good. Speaking of really that good, and you still got it, we have Sting and Darby Allin versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
By God, this was the best tag match I've seen since Young Bucks versus Page and Omega.
I thought you were about to say versus Young Bucks versus Moxley and Kingston.
No. That match was good, but it couldn't top the fucking Revolution one. And this one is definitely up there too, because like it's purely for bragging rights. But these four guys just went all out, and like, except for like a few seconds there at the start, you never felt Sting's age.
No.
Sting had they fucking dragged Sting out to the ramp, power bombed him, and then he got right back up, got in Scorpio Sky's face, tossed him onto Ethan Page, and then did a dive onto the both of them. And from that point on, it was like, Sting can fucking go, let's go!
Yeah, he did a fucking Code Red.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, at his age, it wasn't the cleanest Code Red, but he still did a fucking Code Red.
Yeah, a lot of Stinger splashes. He put Scorpio in the Scorpion Deathlock. There was a great spot where like two of the guy, was it like Darby and Ethan, were both in holds by their opposing team members, and they were just like beating the shit out of each other on the floor while they're in holds. That was amazing.
But eventually, Sting does get the pin to win for his team. And
He hit Scorpio with the Scorpion Death Drop.
It was good.
It's great. It was a genuinely exciting and exhilarating tag match from start to finish. Like all kinds of little moments and great little bits in there that we couldn't even get to. Like another one I just want to pull out is just for the first time in a long time, there's the ref missed the tag spot that I actually loved, because it's Aubrey Edwards yelling in Sting's face, "What the hell? You're not even legal."
Yep. Speaking of everything being legal,
oh boy,
Pac
this match
versus Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy in a the way I described it while we were watching it is it's like watching Batman fighting Superman and Bugs Bunny just shows up.
Yeah. It's a Space Jam.
Yeah. Space Jam 2, be specific.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
God. What if that's a scene in Space Jam 2? What if they invade Batman v Superman for a minute? I'm having an existential crisis, Christian. Help me.
It's not the worst thing. I mean, Elmer Fudd did fight Batman.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Okay, I'm back to reality.
And there was that Marvin the Martian versus Martian Manhunter crossover book.
I haven't read that. Is it good?
It's actually really good because it dives into Martian Manhunter's psyche a little bit in comparison to this other classic American Martian, and like using that to compare and contrast like experiences, and it was solid.
All right, then.
I mean, the Elmer Fudd one was good too.
Yeah, the Elmer Fudd one was fucking great.
I think it was written by Tom King.
Yeah, it's actually one of Tom King's best issues in his Batman run.
Jesus Christ.
Because that's technically canon with his Batman run, because Elmer Fudd just shows up another few times as cameos throughout that run.
Like background cameos?
Like background cameos, and I think he gets a line at one point, too.
Alright, Elmer Fudd's just a citizen of Gotham, I guess.
Yeah, he has a bar. It's cool.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Fucking Tom King.
Tom King.
But no, this match, it has the spots you expect. Of like, oh, they're getting the pin. Oh, they break up the pin. Orange Cassidy's doing his Orange Cassidy things to piss them off and get them off their game. And
repeatedly, Pac is just like, no, motherfucker, stop. I've had it with your shit.
Oh, man. The pockets are made out of steel because he can just put them in there and no one can take them out.
Yeah, that fucking spot on the turnbuckles with Kenny.
And goddamn, Orange Cassidy just being, like, very sneaky. Like, there was Pac did a move, hit Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's down. And Orange Cassidy goes like, all right, bye, Pac. I'm going to pin. 1, 2. Couldn't get the 3. And Pac is just, like, apoplectic. He's like, you motherfucker.
It's great. But ultimately, it does come down to Orange throwing a slew of orange punches in everybody's face. Going
with
to
extra pulp.
Yeah. And he goes to pin Kenny Omega, and Don Callis, who's been on the commentary team for this match, just yells, "Shit!" and gets up from the table, bolts down to the side of the ring, and drags Bryce Remsburg out by his feet. And the entire fucking arena starts chanting, "Fuck you, Dawn." It was amazing.
Oh no, that's the other spot. Like, that happens after that. It's just like Pac has Orange Cassidy in a brutalizer, and Kenny goes like, "All right, stomp on Pac to make him let it go." And Pac just looks at him with a smile, was like, "I ain't letting go, bitch. I can take it." And Kenny's just going like, okay, what? How do I solve this? How do I solve this? Oh wait, Bryce, and it's no holds barred and no rules, no disqualifications. Bonk. Sweet.
Yeah,
now I don't have to worry about that. All right,
just
cool.
starts belting them with the belts.
Goddamn. Like he I haven't went back and checked it, but like Wrestle Talk about it. We watch Wrestle Talk, people. Have you noticed?
We watch Wrestle Talk. I both agree and disagree with them on a lot of things.
The thing I like, but they throw the AAA title, they throw the TNA, they throw the Impact, and they gingerly hand the AEW. It's just like, yeah.
Also, Drake Drago, but how could you not expect a man as fabulous as Boingo to have such a fabulous beard?
Oh wait, what? We got more comments?
Yeah, but God, the heat Don got during this match was so incredible. Like, people have said nuclear heat on and off for the last 10 years about various heels. I don't know that I've ever seen heat that I would actually describe as nuclear until last night.
This was almost late 80s heat. Mm-hmm. That kind of heat that gets you stabbed. And it's Florida. You could get stabbed.
Florida man just materializes in the ring.
No, the chick from the Taco Bell in my hometown who stabbed a customer shows up and goes like, "Fuck you, Don. This is for Taco Bell." Why? Taco Bell. You okay there, bud?
Need a second, hang on.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. But
Taco Bell sends its regards.
This match was fucking amazing, and I loved it. It went, because it was like that good kind of angry where it's like, yeah, I expected the heel to win, but I didn't expect to be so fucking mad about it.
We expected Kenny Omega to win, but we expected it to be like, oh, he wins in the wrestle way. And no, he wins in the asshole way. Fuck you. I wanted Orange Cassidy to have a fair shot, and you didn't give it to him, you bastards.
And, like, we were talking about this while we were watching it. Had this gone on last, I think there would have been refunds chance.
Very much so, because this is, like, big dick heel move. And, like, I understand people saying, oh, this could have gone last, it was that good. If it went on last, oh boy, they would have went home mad.
And the last pay-per-view happened that way. People will call Mulligan on one. I don't know about two.
Yeah, no, and especially because this is first comeback, it makes total sense to end with Stadium Stampede 2.
Inner Circle versus The Pinnacle. I thought this match was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it more than most people seem to have. However, I definitely agree with the assessment that it does not live up to the first Stadium Stampede.
No, but moments of it are really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Particularly the stuff in the club, I loved. I know it makes no sense for that club to be open during the off-season, but it's fucking wrestling, okay? Just let me have this.
Oh, man, like... Okay, so we just need to start out from the beginning. Stadium Stampede is a cinematic style match, so it's a pro wrestling short film. Think of it like that for people who aren't into this silly bullshit.
Yeah.
Because MJF comes in on the limo, okay, cool. He walks out with goddamn, like, sparkled, bedazzled blue jeans.
Yeah, and it gave me old school vibes to see that like fucking bright white limousine driving into the stadium with the Pinnacle theme blasting over it.
Yeah. And MJF starts just going, okay, in a circle, where the fuck you at? And then, on one of the Jumbotrons,
The scoreboard.
scoreboard Jumbotron, it's a football stadium. It's one of those two things.
Yeah.
You just see the inner circle name and the logo in the center, and Judas start playing Chris Jericho's song. And you just see 5 little weird dangly fuckers.
Yeah, they fucking ziplined down.
No, they repelled. That's why they were bouncing.
Oh, they were Mission Impossibling it. That's right.
Yeah, but they didn't know exactly what they were doing. So it's just like, ah.
I would love to see the GoPro footage of that.
They're all, and so they cut, they edit around it. They're on the ground, and then they do the whole separate and go into the individual feud. So let's talk about Jake Hager and Wardlow.
Wait. Because the fucking rest of the Pinnacle shows up in FTR's truck, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah, FTR's. Is it a F-150 from the 60s? I can't remember.
You ask like I fucking know trucks.
I ask expecting you to know shit.
The only thing I know about trucks is that, hey, this transformer turns into a truck.
God damn. I'm wearing a trucker hat. I should know this shit. I'm not really wearing a trucker hat. It's a Pizza Planet hat.
Yeah, it's a ball cap.
No, ball caps are solid. This is mesh.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shows what I know about trucks.
And what do you know about hats?
I know nothing when it comes to fashion. I know that looks nice. I put that on my body.
You can tell. I mean, am I one to talk with the socks I showed off earlier?
I can't hear you right now.
But really, am I anyone to talk with the socks I showed off earlier?
I mean, at least you have taste. I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad, but you got taste, brother.
Ah, yeah. The classic taste of Boingo Core.
Mm-hmm.
Drink it with the 500,000 milligrams of caffeine ingested into it.
Boingo Core, a new flavor from Fuego.
Fuck that, no. Don't want to be associated with them goddamn clowns. But they separate and go off into the stadium and do all their things. So we have Jake Hager and Wardlow who go off into the kitchen area. Mm-hmm. And goddamn, it is 2 beefy boys having a bar fight because they go in.
It felt like something out of Commando.
Oh yeah, no. Like, this whole thing had a lot more of, like, cheesy 80s action vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen people go, like, it's not serious, but it's not funny, but it's still... Guys, it's cheesy. It's campy.
I can see it. Yeah.
It's camp. It's Batman. It's 60s Batman. It's Batman and Robin. It's not a comedy, but it's meant to be kind of like, hey!
Yeah.
But, Wardlow threatens to stab Jake Hager with a goddamn icicle.
It's hilarious. As well as the goddamn plastic pig halves hanging in there.
Goddamn. That popped the prop making part of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because goddamn, it's like, because I can see the go. It's like, yeah, no, this is a good fucking pig half. This looks good. How far away are you going to see it? Oh, no, the camera's going to be right here. Oh.
Well, maybe nobody will notice.
Because you don't make props for, like, here. You make props for, like, 50 feet away.
Yeah. But then we cut over to the TIAA Bank Field nightclub or bar or whatever the fuck it's actually called. And clearly there's some shit going down. There's a bit of music playing, and Santana and Ortiz walk in. And there's Tully, Dax, and Cash just standing looking over a railing like they're discussing what hotel to go back to.
Like, legitimately, they're also dressed like your really cool gay bear of an uncle.
Yeah, like your badass gay uncle is what they all looked like.
Yeah. Like, they're the ones who go to Pride looking for homophobes to, like, scare.
Yeah, because they've got like these completely cut open shirts, and they're all wearing like fucking. I'm sure they're bandanas, but the way they had them tied, it looked like ascots, and they've all got like these tight ass jeans on too.
Yeah.
Which was especially hilarious on Tully.
Yeah, no. Like, I think the way I described it while we were watching it was Tully looked like that gay preacher who goes like, I suck dick for God.
No, I'm trying to convert all the gay guys in the area.
Like, he goes to the gay bar, is like, have you heard about Jesus? Look, I'm fine with being gay. I know. But have you heard about Jesus?
But no, big fight breaks out between them after a short drinking contest. And then freaking Conan is the DJ and changes the song to the old LAX theme. And just fucking all out insanity from there on out. One of them gets pelted with bottles by another. I think it was Santana beat the shit out of Dax with a trash can. Just oh my god.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Like, I want to isolate that bonk and use it for the new horny jail sound. Because that's just like a perfect, like, bonk. It's great. But eventually...
what is in horny jail for the next 75 years.
But eventually, they brawl into an elevator, and it starts to descend. Okay? And that's kind of the end of that segment. We jump to a different place. Why don't we talk about the thing that I think we both want to talk about last? Because let's talk about Chris Jericho and MJF first.
Yeah, because they're in the office area, and they're just beating the shit out of each other. There's a great moment where they run in, and MJF gets Chris down, and he picks up a phone, and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, Chris can't come to the phone right now. He's too busy having his teeth knocked in. And then he knocks him over to a table that Jericho picks up a megaphone from and screams in his face, which people have been memeing.
Goddamn. And then eventually MJF's pinned up against the wall, and Chris Jericho just shoves a table into his stomach. It's just like, ugh. You've had moments like that. It's not fun. Yeah. And then continue brawling into the Jacksonville Jaguar office area with a standee of Tony Khan's dad.
Well, no. First, the fucking coach of the Jaguars.
No. That's afterwards.
Up. No, I'm pretty sure that was before.
It was after.
Are you sure?
It was standee, coach, table spot.
I feel like the coach was first.
No, coach was in the middle of it.
All right, fine. I was drinking a lot. I'll
because the standee was after the phone spot.
Hmm.
But no, they're just fuck off. I'm fucking the camera that you're looking at.
Whoa.
But no, they're brawling all throughout the Jacksonville Jaguar fucking office area, and eventually they get into this big meeting room with just one of those long ass office tables, the whole 9 yards, and they're just brawling. MJF is on the wall; he's resting a bit. Chris Jericho then takes. No, wait, this is before. No. I'm trying to remember the order of it because Chris Jericho gets the fucking bat. Then it's the next spot. He finds Floyd. They fight with Floyd. And then Chris Jericho staples a goddamn piece of paper to MJF's head.
A thank you note. Very
and then rips it off.
Appropriate for Jericho.
And then rips it off of him. And MJF just sells it like a fucking nuclear bomb went off.
Yeah, and there's a spot where I think Jericho powerbombs MJF into the wooden table.
Yeah. And then eventually Chris Jericho gets MJF through a fucking window, like we expected.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's talk about one of the, like, for probably
The
some...
star-making performances of this match.
For some people, the thing that kind of put this over the top. For us, popped us like motherfuckers.
That was like, yes, let's go. Because fucking Sammy Guevara is just wandering around. We don't know how he got, like last year, we don't know how he got separated from everybody, but Sammy Guevara is just wandering around in the underbelly of the stadium, and then he hears clank, clank, and the camera pans over, and Shawn Spears is sitting in a fucking room made of chairs, just clanking this folded chair down on the floor, trying to summon him. And right when Sammy sees him, fucking mood lighting.
God
It's
damn.
the best thing.
It is so extra that it's like, it's so good. And and what happens afterwards. Okay, if you're watching this because you're watching this podcast because you're watching all of our podcasts because you follow Twit, just watch this clip because this is tokusatsu in real time.
Yeah, because they brawl out of the room, and then Sammy runs into a wall and runs up it, and then like shoves Shawn into it, and then climbs onto the back of, it's not even a forklift, it's some kind of weird lift I've never seen before.
It's like a cherry picker.
But then he does a flip off of that shit, and then they brawl into the storage room where they try to beat the shit out of each other with various utensils until eventually Sammy gets knocked out and is handcuffed to some kind of shelving unit with bolt cutters right next to him as Shawn walks away and is like, that's the end of that.
You forgot the best part. As he was doing all the flips and shit, he kicked Shawn Spears, and Excalibur literally went, Sammy just did a rider kick.
Oh, I forgot about that. How did I forget about that? Holy shit.
Like, legitimately, they knew exactly what they were fucking referencing. They knew exactly what they were doing. This is tokusatsu.
When I heard that, because now I've got the memory back. When I heard that, I had an out-of-body experience. I was like, this is not real. Excalibur does not know about Kamen Rider. What?
Now it just makes me want to see Shawn Spears, Sammy, and Tanahashi in a ring together.
Oh my god, and they're all cosplaying different riders.
Sammy 01.
Sammy is 01.
Shawn is Decayed. Because Decade's... What?
Would you be Decayed?
10, first off.
Yeah.
But also, Decayed can kind of be a dick.
Yeah.
And then, Tanahashi can either be his favorite, Kabuto, or Ichigo.
I would put Tanahashi as Kuga.
Yeah, but also, like, he'd probably go with the Kabuto, because that is his favorite. I mean, he references it every time he does his fucking wrestling.
Yeah, that's right.
He does the...
Because the grandma once told me.
Goddamn. Folks, if you watch Tokusatsu, at least look up Tanahashi. You've seen Tanahashi before if you've seen the Gaiam Ghost... No, the Ghost X-Aid movie.
Yeah, the Ghost in X-Aid movie. He was one of the movie baddies for that. And then he was also in a Garo special.
Yeah.
I believe it's Hiroshi Tanahashi is canonically the first Garo.
Sick. Ah, man. Tanahashi's great. But eventually, MJF and Jericho continue brawling and brawling until they get to the outside bridge on the upper deck of Daly's place.
Mm-hmm.
They're brawling and they get into the crowd and they just keep fighting. MJF almost throws Jericho over the rail.
Yeah. Well, fucking NXT superfan man is screaming in their faces.
Yep.
And
no, that was later.
The thing you freaked out about fucking Jericho picks up a production light and
Oh!
hits MJF with it. And you were full on having a meltdown at that shit.
Because that's an expensive light! It costs money!
And I'm like, so does everything else they've broken tonight. Tony Khan has money. Don't worry about it.
No, but it's like money it's a thing I would want. It's like, ooh, big light! But no. While they're brawling up there, eventually Shawn Spears and Sammy brawl into the ring, have a really cool little match, and then Sammy redeems himself because he surrendered.
The guy who was pinned in the last Stadium Stampede.
Yep. Sammy, who also surrendered at Blood and Guts, redeems himself and saves the Inner Circle. The one who quit, the one who walked away, came in clutch, saved the group. Man, that's just fucking nice. As Judas descends and plays, all the Inner Circle congregate to the ring, tired, bruised, beaten, and they just flip off the camera as Judas plays, and then Judas stops. But
and
Judas plays. Goddamn.
It is fucking beautiful. Like, I really agree with what Brian Alvarez said about this match, that this match was like the story of the last year, for people in this country at least. It starts in this big empty stadium, and it's just two guys alone facing off, and then eventually their friends come in to help them, and they all get split off again, and then eventually they're finally, after a brutal war, make their way into a fucking crowd of people and celebrate joyously. We fucking made it! The pandemic is over. Wrestling is back. Let's go.
Let's go. Now that I don't think they were purposely evoking that, but it does work as that. It does work as that kind of like a final bookmark of saying like, all right, pandemic era wrestling is over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 100% back. We still have to recover. We still have to ease into some things.
There's still going to be some half-audience shows.
But we are... That era of uncertainty, that era of loneliness is over.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no, this... How do you feel this Double or Nothing was?
There's no hyperbole that I can possibly give. Watching this show was so wonderful, and like, yeah, there were dips towards the middle, but there were so many highs in this show, and just seeing a crowd back was such a wonderful thing. I honestly feel I haven't experienced a piece of media like this since I saw Infinity War opening night.
Yeah, I agree. This is a very important pay-per-view. I think it's probably emotionally one of the more... Because here's the thing, I wouldn't say this is one of the AEW's best pay-per-views. They have done better pay-per-views. By pure technicality of the matches and wrestling that they have done better pay-per-views. But this feels the more emotionally necessary pay-per-view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the other pay-per-views are good. They are the pinnacle of wrestling. But this is... You know what it is? It's similar to the Brody Lee tribute special. That episode didn't have the best wrestling. It had damn good wrestling. It had really good wrestling. But it didn't have any stories. It didn't continue any stories. But goddamn did we need it. We needed that just emotional release. We needed this pay-per-view to be this way to give us that final moment of like, we can enjoy this again. We don't have to worry. We still do have to worry. But for like 4 hours.
No. We don't have to worry. We have to remain on guard.
But like for 4 hours, we could just go like, fuck yeah, wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do that joke, but it's just like sometimes that's all you can say to express the emotions you have about professional wrestling is just repeatedly going like, God damn, wrestling.
Like, okay. And this is gonna sound kind of cringe, but whatever, fuck it.
When has that ever stopped you?
Yeah, Mr. I want Magic to crush my head with her thighs. Hi. So my guy did not have his best night tonight.
No.
I think we can agree this is one of the cringiest Cody matches in a while, and Cody has had some cringy matches. But you have no idea the amount of times I will just be thinking about like the reason Cody is my favorite wrestler, and I do this with other wrestlers too, but there are so many times I've just thought about past Cody feuds and storylines, and just the controlling thought in my head is just no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, scream into the void, wrestling, all caps, exclamation point. And that's the emotion this pay-per-view captured really well.
Like, that's the thing that's always hard to describe as, like, a fan of professional wrestling. It's like, because people who don't know, it's a similar thing of, like, superhero comics.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar thing with tokusatsu. It's like, if you don't immediately click, if it doesn't push that right button in your brain, you will look at it as some of the dumbest shit alive. It's like, why? How could you enjoy these costume dickheads running around with superpowers? How could you enjoy this Power Rangers bullshit? How can you enjoy these grown, greased up men in tights fake fighting?
Pretending to fight, doing all this flippy bullshit.
Because it is such a visceral form of storytelling that even the sheer fact of people being there as like this was a thing that wasn't there for a while. It's like only watching movies with the colors red and green for a year, and then someone finally says, "All right, you can put blue back in there," and it's just like, "Oh my god, this is what we've been missing." You know.
Definitely.
So, like, that feeling is important. That feeling is, like, valid and very, like, relevant to the whole emotion of the pay-per-view. But it's still very... The pay-per-view... If we didn't have that, the pay-per-view would be a pretty good... average, a little above average version of an AEW pay-per-view. But with that, it just jumps it up like a whole letter grade, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's kind of my thoughts of it. It's a damn good show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final thoughts? Because you've just been nodding along, going like, "Yeah, go on,
you're
ramble."
saying so many things, brother. I've kind of exhausted it.
I'm good at speaking dumb poetry for like good 5 minutes at a time.
I mean, what else can you say except just like me quoting more shit I've seen of other people talking about this show? Like going back to Brian Alvarez, this show had the reaction every promoter wants from a show. Anybody watching this show who isn't already a vested AEW fan is going to go, wow, that's fucking amazing. I want to go watch a wrestling show. I want to go watch people fight and drink beer and sing songs. Yeah.
You know what this made me feel? It's reminded me so much of like ECW. Because the crowd was there, not because like, oh, it's a wrestling show, I like wrestling, I like... They're there because they are AEW. It's like, no, we are here because because like they were they were a crowd that weren't trying to get themselves over. They were a crowd that just going like, no, We are here to have fun. We are here to watch wrestling, and part of watching wrestling is to play into the theater of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they played into that fucking theater. They nailed chants. Like, they fucking chanting DMD. The Jungle Boy thing that we talked about, just singing along with that, singing along to Judas.
Anybody who had a notable song got their song sung along to. Like, I even caught people singing along to Orange Cassidy's theme.
Oh yeah, singing along to Wild Thing, or like there was something great. Like, we talked about it when he came in, Max Caster, controlling the crowd for the first time, because he came in pandemic era. He hadn't been.
How could we not mention Hangman toasted a beer with someone?
Hangman toasted a beer, and that hasn't happened in a goddamn year. And that was one of the highlights of every episode of Dynamite, of Hangman winning a match, beer in hand, walking back, seeing someone just going clang, or like taking a beer from someone and chugging it. It's just like
that one episode where he just took all of the beers and looked at Nick Jackson like, "What?
I like beer."
And then, oh man, I don't know if I've talked about this on MMWP. I probably have, but like the moment the pandemic felt real to me was when he put out a statement saying he couldn't take beers from fans anymore.
Yep. And even then, part of me feels like Hangman's just kind of like, nah, this just feels like it's too unsafe to do. You probably won't ever do it. But who knows? But that's enough waxing on about professional wrestling and its impact, and the impact COVID had on it. So, do you have any final words you'd like to say, and then go into plugging your shit?
America. Chocolate.
Oh!
Championship.
We didn't talk about that! Mark Henry!
Common.
But we didn't talk about that. Mark Henry's part of AEW now.
Oh yeah, good for him. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
So to recap, America, chocolate, barbershop, doohickey, common.
I thought you said Dookie, like the Green Day album.
No, I don't like Green Day much, actually.
I can understand. I can understand you not liking late era Green Day, but like, come on, Dookie. Dookie era Green Day is fucking choice, my friend. You still need to plug your shit.
YouTube.com/TheVacuuminator, TheVacuuminator. Follow me on Twitter and at Facebook. My first toy review in over a year comes out tomorrow, bitches.
You can always get them back to shill shit. Hey, howdy, I'm Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. You can find me on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I do video essays and editorial kind of content. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. And as always, you can join my Discord server. A link to that is in the description. This has been a creation of Modular Media. This is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. We have other podcasts available, including This Week in Toku, the No Price Podcast, and Modular Components, which won't have an episode this week. Timing and everything just got off on a bad foot. If you are listening to this on a podcast,
much wrestling.
If you're listening to this on a podcasting platform, please give us a follow. Share the podcast around. It's the best way for you to help us out. If you're on YouTube, the best way you help us out there, again, spread it around, share it with your friends. But also like, comment, subscribe, help us engage with the fucking math god. But until then, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the wrestling this week, because I sure did. Vac, did you enjoy the wrestling this week? Good. Well, on that, folks, good night.